Hi friends, it's Tuesday, November 18th, 2014. Lynn and Jamie here, continuing our assignment. Our instructions are to keep our intentions as non-directive as possible for these video sessions and for all the sessions that we are conducting all day long, every day right now. This makes it super easy. Our intention is to do what is ours to do in all dimensions simultaneously, to trigger the awakening right now. And with that, it begins. And now I'm just following Pan down that spiral staircase we're going down into the dark realms beneath the nature realms. It has the feeling of going down into the graveyard. It's like when dead birds fall down to the bottom of a cage.
Yes.
And then they are covered with the debris that also continues to fall down. He looks so sad.
He does.
I see dead fairies too, though. They're dead winged things.
Yes, and big dead dragonflies.
Yeah.
Dead winged things.
Dead winged things just is part of the debris that falls down to the bottom of a cage.
That's true.
And I'm asking about the cage. Is the cage a problem? And they say, no, the cage is for safety.
That's true.
The cage is for safety, that it's worse outside the cage than in.
That's true.
And that there's a big perception that it's worse inside the cage, because those who are still flying inside the cage can look down and see the bodies of their fallen companions and feel like, oh, this cage is the problem. If only I could get out of the cage. And so their attention, they divert their attention from their plan. They pull their focus away from source above and start to set as their goal to get out of the cage, because they have now perceived the cage to be the issue.
That's true.
And so all their focus is going into getting out of the cage, and they break out of the cage. Ha! They have this moment of ha! And right then a hawk swoops down, and they are hawk breakfast.
That's true.
So there aren't any bodies littering the ground outside the cage, because
that's true. The
hawks, they don't have a chance to say anything more than ha! Ask Pan about this.
Yeah.
He's talking about history. He's reading a list of names.
That's true.
And the bell is tolling. It's like he says the name with each toll of the bell.
That's true.
This name, and it's just a long, 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 long list.
Yes, of
those the hawk or hawks got.
That's true.
And yet, the pile of dead bodies inside the cage is it's not a motivational problem. It's a problem. People make up a story about it that's untrue. And they're using that as an excuse to not live their soul plan. And when he says people, I ask him, what do you mean by that? And he means sentient presences of the nature realm.
That's true.
We have to remember who Pan is. He's head of the nature realm.
Yes.
Much wider than Earth. He hasn't been working at a single planet level for a long time. So down we go, and he's got equipment that he's kind of handing out to us.
Yes.
And to put these on and strap the ropes together, and he's going to go down into the muck and start passing up the dead bodies.
That's true. And
we will take them from him and pass them on up.
That's true.
What matters most,
yes,
asking to be shown, is to clear the bottom out most completely.
That's true.
And so if we even only get them up 2 bodies high, like he physically hands them to me and I physically hand them to you, no more flying back and forth, that's better than only getting half of them out all the way up.
That's true.
Because there needs to be some room underneath these dead bodies for truth to accumulate again. What's happened is the debris is packed so tight there's not a basis for truth here either.
That's true.
Well, we've seen the same pattern in multiple dimensions, so I completely get it.
Some of them, it's like they're fossilized in rock down there.
Yes. So right now it seems like we're starting with just the bodies that are
Yeah.
easy to get to, and
Yeah.
it's so sad, and he's crying because he knows these beings, like these
That's
are
true.
his friends, and he's talking about them as his,
That's
or
true.
unearthing them, like he brings me up a fairy, like he stands up with a dead fairy
That's
in his
true.
arms, and I'm taking them, and he's saying what her name was and what she was known for, and then he scoops up another one and saying what his name was and what he was known for,
true.
and just on and on and on, and he's just crying. He's almost through the first layer now, like what he's walking on no longer looks like he's stepping on bodies.
That's true.
It's starting to look like he's stepping on, it's not totally solid, but it's like semi-solid surface, and the bodies are sunk in this too. Their bodies semi-submerged in this. I had to be able to drop what I'm doing
That's true.
on a moment's notice. When he stands up with a body, I have to be there for him. And now these who are dead here, they don't bother him quite as much, maybe because they've been dead longer, maybe because he didn't have as personal a relationship with them. The guides say, what do I notice? I notice help is needed.
That's true.
What's needed? Liquefy the substance that's holding them frozen.
That's true.
How could I do that? I could tune it
That's
to
true.
a more liquid vibration. So I just start to tune it with like the pitch that comes down through all those holes that the bird is flying up through.
That's true.
And that wonderful pitch from way up above, when she beats her wings, she sends it down, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. You know what it reminds me of is when we were working with the fireman pole transport tubes,
Yes.
and we would send down the energy, would pulse a bellows to send
Yeah.
the energy down to the bottom. It's like our bird self, us as bird, we are pumping our wings in a way that both propels us forward and sends the energy down. And if I do it right, now my perspective has shifted and I'm seeing things from the perspective of the bird. And I see how when I pump my wings in a certain way, two things happen. I move forward, but also whoosh, big
Like waves
of energy are, and again, all the way down to the bottom, and
That's
I can
true.
see them ruffling the space where another aspect of me is down there with Pan.
That's true.
For now, I'm relating to this from the perspective of the bird.
That's true.
And I see how I can adjust my wing angle and both fly on and ventilate the space better. And so now, whoom, I'm back down on the bottom with Pan, and
That's true.
I'm able to tune this, and it's liquefying again. Some of these beings are sitting up by themselves.
Yes, that's true.
They're it's like they're coming back to consciousness.
That's true.
Pan is just now, he's just walking around and talking to them and like touching them on their heads and faces, and he's
That's
doing
true.
something that's helpful, that helps them wake up.
That's true.
And asking what I can do, what is mine to do. It's really to tune the energy better,
That's
and
true.
create an updraft. It kind of
Yes.
and it's like the energy from the bird is coming down, maybe around the edges, possibly around
Yes,
the edges.
it's around the edges,
And
and then there's a central updraft.
Updraft. It's like a hyper elongated toroid,
That's true.
a central pathway going up,
That's true.
and all around the edges a downward flow.
They sit up and they get up, and it's like I take their hands and we go up until they,
Like a ski lift.
yes, like a ski lift, until it's like they get on the ski lift and they go.
Yeah, and then they go. So I'm running the ski lift and you help them get on the ski lift.
Yes.
Pan's kind of waking them up. What is he doing?
Well, they sit up,
They
and
sit
then he
up.
goes over to them and he touches
Their
faces.
So lovingly.
and he's speaking to
Sings to
them,
them.
singing to them. That's it.
He's singing them their song.
Yeah.
He's singing them their song. He's helping them to remember who they really are.
That's
They
true.
have forgotten. They're sitting up, but they have amnesia. And he's singing their individual songs to each of them. How does he know it? That's just so impressive. It's really amazing. But he does. He has it. He says his book tells him the awareness that each person is unique is encoded in him. He says
That's true.
and then their individual song comes out.
It's like people that are coming up now feel different.
They are different.
They're bigger, heavier, bulkier.
Yes.
At first it was like it was very easy to lift, very light, and now it's like these are big people, big beings
who have forgotten who they are and fallen asleep, and then been covered up by debris.
That's true.
And now the debris is coming off, the vibrations of awakening are coming down, they're sitting up, and Pan is right there, right in their face, to sing them their songs so that they remember, and then as soon as they're able to walk, you can help them onto the ski lift, so to speak. And up they go, up and out they go, right up the central tube. It's a ski lift, except it goes straight up.
Straight up.
So it's kind of like a huge carnival ride.
That's true.
That goes impossibly high. It's important to get down to the bottom while
That's
being
true.
aware of the time limitations, which are real.
That's true.
But we can only go as fast as we can go, and so I can, in effect, create a timeless bubble by just kind of expanding. Oh, this takes a little bit of effort. There, I feel like I got the bubble big enough to fit everything inside of it.
Yes, that's true. And now it's like the beings are huge. It's like layers of earth, layers of...
Yes, mountain ranges sitting up. But they're sitting up fast, and Pan is singing them their song.
That's true.
And they're getting onto this carnival ride and shooting up.
That's true.
And I'm starting to hear, it sounds like a snow shovel scraping on sidewalks.
Yes.
As if we're getting down to the bottom.
That's true.
Being the bird, also getting the vibrations coming down the outside. So there's plenty shooting up the middle, and now it looks like a big, almost fountain of debris mixed with truth, mixed with light, mixed with air, mixed with love and liquid blowing up.
As they go up the Ferris wheel, it's like they get lighter and clearer as they go up.
And so now we remember we still have shelves of bodies. It's almost like a conveyor belt that goes straight up. And I can see how we can just take the shelf and hook it onto hooks, you know?
That's true.
And there goes that shelf.
Ooh.
Oh, bye. And
then
the other shelf.
The other shelf. Ooh.
And there's a third shelf.
Third shelf.
Ooh. Boom. And now Pan is standing on the next one, and he's riding up, so that we can just get on with him and head on up together.
That's true. Ooh.
He looks so happy. He knows it's not complete. He knows there's more to be done, but he feels so glad that this, at least, is behind us. Now we go on to the next step. From here he feels ready to go on to the next step.
That's true.
Maybe now we go sit on the top of the mountain. He says he left something behind.
That's
he's
true.
checking his things. He's going, no,
He's
wait,
going, wait,
no, wait.
I have to go back.
Okay, let's go back. He's looking for something. He says, I left it here. Is it his book? Where's your book, Pan?
Where's your book?
We'll just ask the book to call to you. How did you lose your book? He thought he knew what to do. Well, been there, done that. Who among us hasn't done this 1,000 times every week?
That's true.
We think we know what direction in which to head, and we get headed in a direction, and we forget to ask. I hear it over there. It's like under that pile of straw, and he's looking around for his gear, his rescue gear. He got distracted. So I get it. So we get down here, and we're helping, and we forget the basics that we need to keep our own alignment strong and keep ourselves in the zone.
That's true.
So who among us hasn't made this mistake lots and lots and lots of times? This is my big error. And so let's clear this for all of us, right on up through the central space. Ask our books, can we get back on the upward rising thing while we're doing the rest of our clothes? Let's just head in that direction. We'll get back on the upward rising conveyor belt.
That's true.
And start again to close. He's apologizing to his book. It's beautiful. He's having this real lovely conversation with his book. He's being so wonderful with his book.
That's true.
He's saying, I am
I'm so sorry.
And he was talking about how his hands were full, and he set it down thinking he wouldn't forget where he had put
That's
it.
true.
But then someone else called his attention, and he walked away from his book. And he's setting the intention to form a new habit, so that he always has his book, and he's listening to
That's
his
true.
book, almost with earphones on, almost as if to block out all other sounds,
That's true.
so that he only hears the guidance and doesn't hear anything else. Okay, so that's a great idea. Let's all of us put in our earplugs, like earbuds, so that we can hear only the guidance.